Welcome. I am Kayla Bell, 8th grade student at McConaughey Middle School.
And I'm Mr. Wright, 8th grade English teacher at McConaughey Middle School. In our fourth video, we are going to discuss Skyward and how student grades are calculated. During the 2018-19 school year, students and parents should have noticed that the McConaughey Middle School grade book and scale is still on the 90, 80, 70, 60 scale. It has been board approved through our student handbook. There are some subtle changes in the grade book as we are using a hybrid model to calculate grades in math, language arts, science, and social studies, the core classes. In the core classes, assignments that are collaborative, homework, or otherwise set up as practice for the student to gain skills or knowledge will not be averaged in to count towards the student's final quarter grade. After students have had the opportunity to practice their skills, they will take a benchmark assessment. These assessments will count towards the student's grade. Students will have the opportunity to take a minimum of 3 benchmark assessments for each priority standard that has been identified for that quarter. The example on the screen are the 6th grade ELA priority standards for each quarter. Teachers will not average these benchmark assessments, but rather look for trends in the student practices and benchmark assessments for each standard. The student will receive 1 mark based on the trending data for that student's performance for each priority standard.
The gradebook we are viewing is an example of the 2018-19 gradebook from first quarter on a parent or student view. As you look at the related arts classes, you should notice it looks similar to years past. Percentages are shown up, and homework class participation makes up a large percentage of the grade. As we look at the core classes, you should notice that standards are identified and some of the practice assignments are marked as no count. In this example, the student scores a 95% on her first benchmark with similar scores on practices and her second benchmark. The trend for this standard is marked as an A. This student quarter 1 grade for standard ESS1 would be an A4 or an A. As we transition to the second quarter, you will begin to see the grade books and core classes look like the example that is on the screen. As you can see, items are labeled with the standard and are noted as practice or benchmark assessment. Also note that practice items are labeled as no count because they are practice to build skill and knowledge. Also note that all but one benchmark assessment is labeled as no count.
As we talked about earlier in this video, we are not averaging these tests, but rather looking for trends and taking the mark that best represents the trend for each standard. You should also note that standard 2.1 has 2 excused marks. This is due to the fact that the student showed her knowledge and skill after her second benchmark attempt and did not have to take the 3rd benchmark test. We hope this video has been helpful in the explanation of grading practices at MMS. As we build our standards-based grade card for next year, some items may look different, but the concept of how grades are calculated will remain the same. We look forward to all middle school classes using SBR during the 2019-2020 school year. Check back on Facebook and our website often to stay informed of our progress.
Thank you, and go Braves!